Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today I want to talk with you about, of all things, boomerangs. Yeah, you heard me right, boomerangs. You know, the curved piece of wood tends to be sort of an Australian thing, and what is really cool about a boomerang is if you do it right, when you throw it, if you throw it in the right way, it'll turn around in midair and it'll come right back and you can catch it again. I always thought that was the coolest thing I had ever seen. And so as a young boy, I saved up some of my pennies and went to the toy store, bought myself a boomerang. And I thought, wow, what better toy could I have than this? Ran out into the backyard, threw that boomerang, and guess what happened? Nothing. It just went and sailed and fell on the ground. Didn't come back, didn't do anything. And I was kind of crestfallen because I said, I've seen people on TV do this all the time. They throw the boomerang comes back to them. And so I trudged out to pick up the boomerang, figuring, okay, well, attempt 1 didn't work. I'll try attempt 2. Guess what happened on attempt 2? Nothing. The same problem. And then I realized something interesting. Yes, the boomerang is designed to do that, but there's more to it than just the boomerang itself. There's a very specific way that one needs to throw that boomerang, and that is a skill that must be learned and practiced, and practiced, and practiced, and practiced, and practiced. You know that old joke, right? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. That's what happens with a boomerang. Now, full disclosure, as a young boy, I was lazy and unmotivated, so when the boomerang didn't come back, I put the boomerang on a shelf. And I wish I hadn't. I wish I had had the tenacity to learn how to throw that boomerang, because what could be cooler than that? Now, you're probably sitting there saying, well, that's an interesting story, Rick, but just why are you telling us about a boomerang? There is a point to this. Bear with me. I want to tell you another story. I had a call from a parishioner this week who shared an experience that they had. It seems they were at the grocery store and they were in line waiting, and this man came up to the line, got in the back, and he had like 2 items and they all had carts. And so she said to him, "Sir, why don't you just come up and get in front of me? You only have 2 items. Just get in front of me and go ahead. Why should you have to wait for all that?" Which was a very nice gesture on her part. And apparently the guy thought so too, because after he had checked out, he turned to her and he said, "That was such a nice thing on your part. You didn't have to do that. Here's $10. I want to say thank you." And she tried to say, no, I don't need that. But he insisted. And so she's standing there with this $10 bill in her hand. And that was a lovely moment for her, until the person standing in line behind her said, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Why would he do that? That was just dumb." And she turned to the cashier, and the cashier said, "Yeah, why would he give that to you? That was a stupid thing on his part." Well, this person was a little crestfallen at that and wondered, had she done the wrong thing? To that, I want to refer you back to the boomerang story. Yeah, there's a reason I put these two together, because what happened here was she threw love into the world, just like you throw a boomerang. And in this case, the boomerang actually came back to her, and she was able to catch it. And just because other people weren't impressed by that, other people didn't see it, it may have been a topic that they didn't understand. She wasn't sure if, oh boy, did I really catch that boomerang? Did I really do the right thing? Let me assure you, my dear sister, you did. For just like throwing a boomerang takes practice, and when you get good at it, you catch it every time. It does indeed come back to you. Throwing love into the world is the same thing. So practice it, brothers and sisters. Practice throwing love into the world. It doesn't matter if it comes back to you or not. That's not the point. The point is that you are doing it. And eventually, as we get better at it and we get those throwing muscles, and yes, you have to kind of dip when you throw a boomerang, I suspect. When you get those throwing muscles in, you will find that boomerang comes back to you. So keep throwing love into the world, for I assure you, that love will indeed come back to you. And aren't we indeed called to love God and love our neighbors? I think that's what we are. So may you work on your boomerang throwing this day, my friends. God bless you. God love you.